Anderson's got 5 points this year, 2 goals, and has been a big part of this offense. Wildcats will start things off and boot it all the way down to the junior Rebecca Kessler, making her 14th start of the season. Bearcats donning their black and green uniforms in the front. Wildcats in their home whites with those pink socks today. It bounces in the midfield. Alexis Worrell will retreat. Bearcats offensively averaging 1.79 goals per game. That's the highest in America East. The Wildcats not that far behind them though, 1.62 for UNH. These two teams were tied for first in the America East preseason poll. So you go back a couple months. This is a game that's been circled for a long time. The two true heavyweights, and they're keeping pace. UNH a little bit behind Binghamton. But the Wildcats, UVM, and the Bearcats all doing well. Luke, top of the box, gives up. Here's Davis. She shoots a nice stop by Zietvat to start this contest.
There's our feature player of the game right there. Davis getting a good peg on the ball. Zietvat tracks it so nicely. And went down on the ground and scooped it up.
Zietvat making her 10th start of the season. This will be her 13th appearance. She's played in all but 1 contests. Has a 2-2-4 record, a 1.33 goals against average, 2 shutouts, and a 745 save percentage. The junior from Mendham, New Jersey. This Bearcats team can spread things out all over the field. You see them using their backs. The ball is turned over. It comes to Shia Walker, who's quickly double teamed. Elizabeth Finn grabs control, and the Bearcats do a nice job to block that. It's Garofalo, one of the members of the 2024 America East first team. She's played every minute this season for the Bearcats. Here's Molly McHugh. She's played the 2nd most minutes for her of any season so far in her 5 here in Durham. Starting for the 14th time. It's been penciled in every game so far. Cole looking for Meyer. Pass a little bit too far to her left, but the Wildcats do a nice job to jump back on it and cause the turnover.
Yeah, Wildcats looking for that through ball right away. Obviously, they create the turnover. That might have been a coaching point for Steve Wellham this week to just transition so very quickly.
Here's Davis, our player to watch, with 16 points this year. Davis matched up against Kolb, the America East Defender of the Year last year, and Davis will send it out of play off the tents behind the net. So looking at the formation here in the early couple of minutes, it looks like Abby Beasley maybe playing a little bit more in the midfield to start, and I'm sure we're going to see things shift around.
Yeah, Alyssa Gimmel, I believe is the player that's come in for Brooke Pearson, who's out today. She'll be playing around the midfield area. Maybe she might be shaded just a little bit more towards the left.
Steve Wellham has put a lot of trust in 2 freshman backs, Riley Mitza and Abby Beasley, who have both started every game. This Wildcats team, a little bit of a younger group than we've seen in seasons past, and obviously big shoes to fill with Megan Garenti, who scored 10 of their 25 goals last season. And it's been a little bit more of get it done by committee this year. Abby Meyer, Shia Walker, Elizabeth Finn has a few as well.
Yeah, and today in this game, Elizabeth Finn is the number 9 player up on top, and for the most part, Shia Walker will be in the holding role. Although we see now it's a tandem front pairing.
Bella Brown for the Bearcats, not starting today. She started 13 of 14 coming into this contest. Played 42 minutes in their last game against Albany as Walker is called down, and we've got our first foul of the afternoon.
Yeah, a little hand up on the back of Hannah Buckwalter. Yeah, look down and see Jakaya Walker. She's definitely the left wing, and she likes that space over there. Now that last run she had, it was outstanding defense by Maddie Kolb. She let Walker go through a routine of doing a couple of step over fakes and just maintaining that space of about 2 yards.
And she just never seems to get phased.
No,
so confident, very calm. That obviously plays a large part into her game. Megan Baker, the junior from Jamesville, New York, will take the throw in on the near side. It's kicked to Buckwalter. Now back to Baker. Baker gets around McHugh, and her shot is low and goes off the side of the netting for a Wildcats goal kick.
A good defense there by Molly McHugh. Again, you know, you'll give up that little possession. You know, you don't want to pinch too much into the player because you have that fear of them going right by you. And especially if they get by you on the outside, they're looking back to cut it back at about 45-degree angle. So good defense, Molly McHugh. Very experienced, the graduate student out of Tingsboro.
7 minutes in, no shots on goal per side, but the Bearcats do have 3 shots. UNH with 1 so far. And what's interesting is, obviously, you look at these offenses on paper and you say this could be a game 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, where we see a number of goals, but especially Binghamton, they don't give up much at all either, averaging under 1 goal allowed per game. Wildcats have allowed a little bit more at 1.62. But I think what's so impressive is both the scoring ability and the defensive presence that the Bearcats bring.
Yeah, they're coming off 2 shutouts in a row. Shutout UMass Lowell and U Albany. Wildcats also coming in with a shutout of their own, although they weren't able to score against Bryant. 0-0 tie.
There's that foul on Maddie Kolb as she took down Paige Luke about a yard outside of the box on the far side. The Wildcats will assemble a wall of 4. 6 in the box for the Bearcats. It goes back post looking for Luke again and deflected out of play.
Yeah, Luke is a player that had a couple of goals in Binghamton's 3-0 win over U Albany. That was their last game. So scored 2 goals, 8.5 minutes apart, looking for the backdoor header on that play.
Talked with Steve Wellham earlier this week, and he's happy where this Wildcats team is at right now. Feels like they're trending in the right direction. And this is the time of year where you want to be trending upwards. You know, we talk about that out of conference schedule sometimes, where obviously those games are important, but really getting tuned up for the in-conference part of your season. And the Wildcats seem to be hitting their stride, unbeaten in their last 4 games. Obviously not as long as the 11-game streak that Binghamton brings in on the other side, but there's only one team in the country who can match that with Bowling Green at 13.
Yeah, I think you're right. Steve Wellham's right too. As teams in a comfortable spot, this will be a great test for them today. And I think the defense will be a key. If you keep Binghamton off the board, well, you're not going to lose.
Bearcats' only loss was way back on August 24th at Monmouth. They're a perfect 6-0 at home this year. They'll have 1 game remaining next Sunday against UVM.
Yeah, speaking of that, they've already played 6 games out of the 8 they're going to play in the league. So most of the other teams have a couple of extra games, a couple of games left on their schedule like UNH does after today.
Binghamton still with their bye. Finn is on sides. The ball will roll all the way down to Kessler, who will scoop it up. Kessler again, who's making her 14th start, has started every game but one this year for Binghamton. Made 8 starts last year. And really in her 3 seasons has just evolved into this starter's role, has earned the trust of the coaching staff, and she's their go-to keeper now. Worrell, triple teamed, up to Davis, top of the box with her left, and Ziepvat makes the punching stop.
Wow, that ball came off the foot of Jakaya Davis so quickly. She just corks that leg back and fires away. Ziepvat with an outstanding save. As Davis tries to go upper 90s to the goalie's right.
First save for Ziepvat. Anna Buckwalter will take the corner. This is the first corner opportunity for either side. It's kept low. Ziepvat again comes out. That ball was intended for Davis on the near post, and a foul is called against Binghamton. There's Shia Walker, transferred over from LaSalle, tied with Abby Meyer for the team lead in goals right now. She does lead in points with 11. Had a goal in the Wildcats' last game against Albany.
Yeah, this might be about the time of year she settles in after, you know, transferring from the Philadelphia school. She is from Philly, whole different world from Philly up here in New England. Although there is a Jersey Mike's in Portsmouth. So if you need a Philly cheesesteak, you can always head down there. But, you know, it may take a little while for, you know, a player coming in, the system, and, you know, it's just a different way of life up here in New England than it is in Philadelphia.
Are you a Cheese Whiz or classic cheesesteak guy?
That's a loaded question. I know. I can't remember what the Geno's versus
Geno's and Pat's, I think.
Pat's. I've never been to either one of them down there, but I'm not really a Cheese Whiz type of guy. But you can't knock the historical implication of it.
Well, they've got the marketing down, that's for sure.
Yeah.
McHugh will throw in for the Wildcats. This is really the first time we've seen sustained pressure in the attacking third for the Wildcats. It bounces off of Walker, and Kessler will come out. Binghamton, as a team, gets just under 14 shots per game. And again, they don't give up many goals, but shots-wise, they only give up 8.4 a game. Again, just limiting those opportunities of their opponents.
Yeah, against U Albany, their last game, the shot differential on goal was 8-0. So yeah, this is a team that can just shut it down. Although they were outshot by UMass Lowell by a 7-2 margin. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Maine that had the shot. 8-3 differential over Binghamton.
There have been 3 games this year where Kessler has not had to record a save. I mean, obviously she's incredibly talented, but when your back line is stepping up like that as well and taking the workload off of you, I mean, makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, Binghamton, a nice takeaway there by the Wildcats. Binghamton going with a 2 center back, and they'll work those outside backs up on the offense and pull them back on the defense, so it'll look like a 4 in the back. But there's also 2 central defenders that are just above the back line. So as you see right now, they've morphed into a kind of a 6 fullback formation. Thinking defensively first.
McHugh will take the free kick with her left. Bounces back to Worrell, and now Davis. We've seen her take the ball by herself a few times now down the field. And now Finn, 2 Wildcats ahead of her, trying to direct it to Zabinskis.
Yeah, there wasn't much room there for a through ball. Binghamton covered that very nicely. And there's a good defensive play by the Wildcats. You see Walker's going to try to veer left to that space over there, and there's 2 Wildcats there to defend.
UNH putting the double team on Davis. Named to the America East All-Rookie team last year, had 5 goals in her freshman season and has just taken that jump to the next level this year. Here's Luke, gives it to Davis. It's chipped in the air, looking for a Bearcat on the far side, and there was no one there to catch up to it. Wildcats will clear.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Walker was trying to do that with the right foot.
Davis.
Obviously a left-footed player.
Goes off of the Wildcats, and Binghamton will earn another throw in. Megan Baker, who's the leading scoring back for this Bearcats team, with 7 points. And a foul charged against Binghamton.
On these free kicks, the Wildcats need to make sure the first touch of the ball is by a Wildcat. The last one they had just inside of midfield. It 2 touches right away for the Bearcats.
Kolb, senior from Tallinn, Connecticut, donning that neon yellow armband as the captain for this UNH team. Here's Walker. Nice pass back to Finn. Finn's double teamed, keeps it on her foot. Official says play on.
Yeah, I like that little back pass by Shia Walker.
There's Abby Meyer doing a nice job on the takeaway. Nifty footwork by Worrell. She's got Luke to her left and a swarm of Wildcats ahead of her. She'll turn things back to Megan Baker. Baker trying to get around McHugh. Puts a good hip on her. And check that, that was Gimmel.
Yeah, Gimmel at the outside midfield position. And she'll have Mitsa behind her.
Baker looking for Davis at the top of the box. Deflects, and now back to Luke. You can see this connection between Luke and Davis, the 2 leading scorers for this Bearcats team, both trying to distribute the ball to each other. Back post. Nice job by Mitsa to head that out of a dangerous area, and she'll clear it once again.
Yeah, looking for that little touch from Luke to Davis. Davis uncorks shots so quickly. You have to be aware of that passing combination.
Luke has 6 goals this year. Surprisingly enough, not one of those is a game winner. McHugh's clearing attempt, some funky spin on it, and it will stick with the Bearcats after rolling off of Zabinskis. Just under 26 minutes left to play in this first half. Baker looking for Davis again. It will pop off of her head, and Ziepvat will park the bus under it to make the stop.
Yeah, that's kind of a header that's, you know, it's got your body momentum going away from the goal, so you can't get a lot of power on it. Hey, put it on net anyways, just to say, hey, I'm here, and keep an eye on me. And that's what Walker does. Ziepvat up to the challenge, just get the W formation going in her gloves and squeeze it.
He's Pete Webster, I'm Andrew Gardner. These are the 2 highest scoring offenses in the America East. Both teams tied for first in the America East preseason poll. Baker Moves around McHugh, who makes a nice sliding stop. And again, earlier too, we were talking about clinching scenarios. We didn't really go over the specifics of those. Binghamton can lock up a top 2 spot just with a point today, either a win or a tie. It's a little more complicated for UNH to clinch a spot in the America East Championships. They need to win plus either a tie at Bryant NJIT as this ball off Luke goes out of play, or if that doesn't happen, they need losses by both NJIT and Maine. We'll put a pin in that one until later, because there's a lot going on there.
We had a halftime score, Bryant leading NJIT 1-0. We'll look for an update on that here.
We'll keep an eye on Maine as well.
Maine has already pulled out a 2-0 victory as they started at noon over UMBC.
All right, well, then we can cross that one off the board. We'll go back up to Bryant versus NJIT tie, plus a Wildcats win would clinch them a spot. Speaking of Luke and Bryant, her sister Madison is on the Bulldogs as Baker got a shot up high by Walker. Walking around a bit limp, but looks to be okay.
Did you say Luke and Brian? Luke.
Oh,
Brian.
Luke.
Brian. Okay, I thought you were talking about country music here.
That would that was definitely a fair miss here. I think there's definitely some NIL opportunity there. If we could. Goal kick coming for Binghamton.
Yeah, I was a little ambitious on that long ball. Looking through for Elizabeth Finn.
Binghamton with 6 of the 7 shots between these two teams so far.
Yeah, Binghamton has done a lot better of moving the ball quickly to open players. There's a little give and go right there with a lot of space.
They move very well with speed, and the passes are intensely crisp. Davis looking back post. No one there again. Binghamton's tried that play a few times, trying to switch the field within the 18, but there's been really no one there on the weak side.
Yeah, I'm not sure if players expect Walker to just uncork the shot, but that's a tight angle. Smart to try to play it back across the goal mouth. Just, I think, a little too hot and heavy on that cross.
Just a beautiful afternoon here in Durham. Temperature at 64 degrees, some clouds high in the sky, but overall, a very blue sky. Baker gets around McHugh. It bounces back up to Worrell. Still loose in the box for Binghamton. They will retreat and give it back to Garofalo. She'll rip one from the outside looking for goal, and it goes well out of play.
Yeah, a little bit too much takeoff on that shot. I think Neil Bhattacharjee, the graduate of Maryland and in his 10th season on the bench, would like to see those go on net.
He's done an excellent job with this program. Have made the America East Championship game twice during his tenure, again in 2020, or I guess that would be the spring of 2021, as Walker is called for the foul. Some hard contact against Garofalo.
I don't think she's going to draw a card, but the referee is going to give a little talking, say, hey, take it easy. You know, you didn't really have a chance to make the play. And he's taking down the number 10 in his mind. So I might have to be a little careful at Shia Walker. You can't fault her aggressiveness.
Well, that's how you got to play if you want to get past his back line for Binghamton, especially Garofalo, who, again, was first team all-conference last year. This ball will roll off against the Wildcats, so it will be a corner. This is corner number 2 for Binghamton. The first one came from the far side. This will be the first try from the near side here. And Buckwalter comes over to take the opportunity again. Does have 3 assists this year. Ball springs out to the top of the box, and it came off the foot of Baker awkwardly and out of play.
A nice job by the Wildcats to win the header. The Bearcats' play is to have two green uniforms right around the goalkeeper, right around Ziepvat. Puts the garbage collector out at the top of the D. Just shanks it just a little bit.
That was Olaya Blanco, a graduate student from Lyon, Spain, transferred over from the University of Cumberland, which was a Division III school in Kentucky. This is her first year with the Bearcats. She finished 7th all-time in assists at the University of Cumberland with 25 in her 4-year career.
You can hear a little bit of wind out there. It is going from our right to left, coming in off the ocean. Although, you know, we're about 10 miles from the ocean, but Great Bay just a couple miles over. You can sense the wind.
We're close-ish.
Yeah.
Certainly closer than Binghamton.
Yeah. We haven't seen any flyovers yet. Must be all quiet at Pease Air Base. Or Pease Trade Port, I should say, the National Guard.
Rolls off of Baker and a Wildcats throw in. Wildcats have had a decent chunk of possession. We don't have the numbers until the half. I would still say Binghamton has controlled play a little bit more, but UNH, especially in the midfield, you know, they've had their chances to try and generate something. Again, it's just that back line of Binghamton that's so tough. That final stage to finish.
And they have 2 forwards that Wildcats know very much about. There's a Binghamton foul and Walker. Yeah, 2 forwards that can certainly score 13 goals between the 2 of them, that being Luke and Davis.
Well, what's so crazy about this team, Binghamton last year goes 7-6-5, and they do have 16 underclassmen on the roster. So they're a younger team. A lot of players last year who, you know, were sophomores, like Luke, takes the jump to the next step. As UNH will get their first corner. We'll finish that point in just a moment. And here's Abby Meyer, senior from Cincinnati.
Yeah, it was an attempt by the Wildcats to go up over the top of the defense, and it was deflected by a header over the end line.
Meyer does have an assist this year. Second on the team in points. Wildcats crowd the box. Looking back post. Oh. That was a good look. That was Sawicki. Or check that, Siri.
Siri, yeah. Siri on the back post. She skied up for that one. Up from her central back position. Gonna watch her rise up above in the backside.
Well, she got a clean look at it. There was a lot of pressure in front of the net. So here goes Davis to the races. Gives it ahead to Luke. Looking back to Davis. She gets around Ziepvat. And we will have a penalty kick for Binghamton as Davis is taken down right off the near post by Siri.
Yeah, that was just an outstanding burst of speed by Jakaya Davis. She had Riley Mitza on her hip going down that left wing side, and Mitza just couldn't make the run there. And
yellow card
Davis gets it back. Yeah.
Siri will also pick up a yellow card on the play. And Megan Baker is lined up to take this. She's taken all 3 PKs for Binghamton so far this year. She is 2 for 3. The junior from Jamesville, New York. Both of her goals have come from penalty kick opportunities. She stares down Ziepvat. Will adjust the ball once more as our officials get things squared away. Baker. It goes off the crossbar and stays out. Another try by Baker. And the Bearcats are unsuccessful. The UNH bench up on their feet, and a nice applause by the fans here at Wildcat Stadium.
Yeah, I don't know what she was trying to do on that. Go straight at Sonia Ziepvat. She got under it too much, got it right into the crossbar.
And Ziepvat had gone to the other side, so if that ball is, you know, even 6 inches lower, it's 1-0 Binghamton. So Baker moves to 2-4, a handball against UNH. She's 2-4 now on PKs. And that was a massive situation to get out of if you're UNH. Obviously, you don't want to take the penalty kick there, but Davis is all alone. And then the penalty kick is unsuccessful.
Yeah, that is a good break for the Wildcats. Now they'll have to create something out of this little bit of momentum, a little bit of confidence maybe.
Could be a turning point for sure. Or will we see the Bearcats continue to lay it on and break this 0-0 tie? 9-2 advantage in terms of shots for Binghamton. They integrate this back line. Flavo. And back over to Baker. Baker maneuvers right, keeps it low. It's loose. And that will go out and off of Ziepvat.
Yeah, she had to get up and get a paw on that because she wasn't sure if it was going to go in. I think it might have squirted in if she didn't go up and make that play with a little tip over the crossbar.
It's a smart play by Baker, kind of a broken set play, and just to throw it on net, you know, not really a dangerous chance, but Ziepvat has to punch it out, and now corner number 3 for Binghamton. Middle of the box, Walker for UNH, boots it for a moment, and bounces off of a couple heads of the Bearcats, and Ziepvat makes the save.
Yeah, very calm, staying on her line. Just reading a couple of headers there by the Bearcats. They certainly like to throw players right up into the penalty area.
And we've seen them all involved up front. A strong kick by Ziepvat bounces over the head of Meyer. As we look to see if the Wildcats can get things set up, not before Paige Luke streaks down the left wing. Luke has Grenz in front of her. Finn comes over to support. It bounces back to Baker. Baker tries the bicycle kick, and Ziepvat will streak out, and a foul is going to be called against Binghamton. It's starting to get a little bit chippy out there.
Well, Binghamton going hard for the ball in the penalty area, and that's Abby Meyer doing the defending. And she got hauled down. I think that was Worrell out of Toronto.
Talk about food in cities that's not overrated. The poutine in Toronto, that is good stuff.
I have never been to Toronto.
Highly recommend.
I wanted to go, yes.
That, Niagara Falls.
Been there.
You're so close.
Yeah, I know, I was. You know, it was the 2003 Frozen Four. Was there in Buffalo.
Niagara University out of the Atlantic, right next door. Got our first subs of the game.
And number 14, Isabella Martillo for number 3, Jakaya Davis.
Isabella Martillo will come in for Binghamton. We'll get you the full list as they're up there on your screen now. Davis comes out. Three changes in total, 1 for UNH, 2 for Binghamton. And Elena Grenz, the senior from River Edge, New Jersey, who started the first 5 games, has now come off the bench, including today, 8 straight, does have 2 goals of late. A free kick goes over the head of Abby Meyer and out. So I want to go back about 5 minutes now to not the last point, but a few points ago, about this scoring for Binghamton and these players who have taken that next step. They lost their 2 leading scorers from a year ago, Mackenzie Ryder and Hannah Mimis, who each combined or combined for 14 goals a season ago. So that's a lot of offense to replace, and it's impressive to see record-wise has not affected Binghamton.
Yeah, there's a lot of offense to replace. It just goes to show you some good recruiting. You've got players who are just itching to get into the lineup and put the ball home. And of course, Takaya Davis has certainly done the job this year. So has Paige Luke. But you look at only 8 players for Binghamton have scored this year. There's been 11 for the Wildcats. Of course, you don't have the prolific scorers scoring 6 and 7 goals for UNH, but Walker and Meyer with 4 goals apiece.
Well, I remember talking with Steve Wellham almost 2 months ago now, right before the Wildcats' first game against BU. And yeah, just asking him about, you know, Lappin and Guarenti. Obviously, Guarenti was the big piece to graduate. And it's exactly what he said has played out, that it's going to be by committee.
Yep.
And yeah, 11 different players. Obviously, you've got 2 players, Walker and Meyer, with 4 goals apiece. But otherwise, the wealth is pretty well, you know, separated, pretty well spread.
Yeah, you know, you need to get good midfield play, players that can contribute every now and then, maybe, you know, be more prolific in the assist category, and then you have to have stout defending. And even though the Wildcats have bent a little bit here in this game, they haven't given up.
Allen ahead, and it will find the back of the net. A long-range pass from Allen, and it's 1-0 Binghamton. As we get another look. It's Isabella Martillo. Her first goal of the season for the graduate student from East Brunswick, New Jersey. Freshly off the bench, Binghamton pulls Davis off, Martillo comes in, and she scores.
Well, and just when I was saying the Wildcats, you know, bend, but they don't break. They haven't given it up yet. Boy, the next touch of the puck, broadcaster's curse. There it is, and a nice service from outside by Sam Allen. And the little skim header
Binghamton goal
by
scored by
Martillo.
number 14, Isabella Martillo, her first of the season, assisted by number 12, Sam Allen. Time of the goal.
It's her first goal since Halloween of last year against Albany. Just the second goal in her career.
Binghamton substitution into the game, number 16, Mackenzie Brotherson.
So Binghamton's got themselves a 1-0 lead, and it will be interesting to see how UNH responds now against the Bearcats team that has not allowed a goal in the last 2 full contests they've played and are going on nearly 5 halves without giving one up. Meyer. Brotherston in front of her. It will bound off of the freshman from Lenoka Harbor, New Jersey. And we'll get another change for the Wildcats.
Yeah, after that goal, the Wildcats come out and they try to isolate Shia Walker, and then on that play there, trying to isolate Abby Meyer. Trying to get those one-on-one plays with the forwards.
Bella Brown back, or I shouldn't say back, into the game for the first time today for the Bearcats. Coming off the bench for just the 2nd time so far this year. Foul called against Binghamton. Bearcats have brought 4 off the bench so far, 2 for UNH. The margin in shot differential continues to grow. A 12-2 lead for Binghamton. A try from the outside by Beasley, and it rolls out of play. Beasley, a freshman who leads the team in minutes She's played all but 9 minutes this year.
For number 10, Anna Buckwalter.
And another change as Buckwalter comes out for Binghamton.
Yeah, that's a lot of minutes to play. A lot of ground covered, playing every minute except 9.
Sam Allen for Binghamton picking up her first career point on that goal by Martillo. Picks up the helper. And that play was really created by her. An excellent ball into the box.
Yeah, you know, and as a keeper, Zvat say, you know, she has to come out and establish herself on the play and trying to control that penalty area and her goalie area. And, you know, you just hope, you know, the only thing bad that can happen is what happened is just a nice diagonal run and a little skim header. You know, a lot of people might say, well, if she had stayed back on her line, the header would have gone right to her. But, you know, it's all about taking charge from a keeper's perspective. So you can't have any fault for the goalkeeper in that situation.
And that's how she's played all day so far as well. She's not been afraid to come out and exactly, challenge the offense. And a couple of those have paid off in her favor.
Yeah.
6 minutes to play here in the first half. Binghamton has had the better of the chances, and this will roll out off the Wildcats for another corner. So that goal by Martillo just 6 minutes after the missed PK by Megan Baker.
Corner kick for Binghamton, number 17,
Bearcats were quick to rebound and find the back of the net. Here's the fourth corner for Binghamton. It's left short, and we'll try it again. Goes off the chest of Mitza.
Yeah, they'll pile up another corner kick here.
Number 17, Sydney Krapaski.
Good play by Mitza, though, to make sure she got her body in the way of that.
Krapaski on the service into the mixer. It bounces back over to Allen, who had the feed, tries to feed Worrell this time, and it was left wide.
Worrell, a little left-footed shot there, came quickly to her, so not able to get the laces square on it.
Number 10, Shia Walker.
Shia Walker will head to the bench. It's Jules Vano in for her 7th appearance this year. Scored back on September 14th, her lone goal of the season against the Crimson of Harvard. Beasley. We've seen her kind of rotate between that back line and push up, I wouldn't say to the midfield, but kind of that second layer. Goes off of Clark, and possession stays with the Bearcats.
Yeah, speaking of Beasley, I think it's just a freshman and still playing in a really critical role for the Wildcats in that central defense area.
Does have 5 points this year. Scored a little over 2 weeks ago on October 2nd against UMass Lowell. Had 2 helpers, and the Wildcats win about a month and a half ago against Merrimack as well. A lot of strong young pieces for this Wildcats team, which they'll surely build around in the coming years. Off the shoulder of Worrell. All 3 of her goals this year have been game winners. Luke tips off of Gimmel, and she'll keep it in. Nice hustle by the freshman. Seems like the urgency for the Wildcats has maybe picked up a little bit in these last minute or two.
Yeah, with a lot of fresh legs in for the Wildcats here to run out the string in the first half. You might see this lineup to start the second half before rotating in your starters.
Gren's got her foot in the way of that ball. Goes out, and Allen will throw in. Allen, who did not play at all last year for the Bearcats, now in her 13th appearance, all off the bench. And again, had the helper on the 36th minute Isabella Martillo goal. Wildcats will look to make some adjustments at the half. But, I mean, there offensively hasn't been really much to talk about from UNH. Bearcats doing a very strong job to neutralize them.
Yeah, the Wildcats just haven't had that possession in their final third. You know, aside to, corner kick. Nice opportunity at the back post, but as far as working passing lanes and possession down the field, you just have to congratulate Binghamton for kind of a...
Luke, what a stop by Zeepfat. Looking like Spider-Man in the air.
Yeah, and that's a big difference there from what the Wildcats have been able to accomplish here in the first half to what Binghamton has been able to do. They see their space and turn and shot on goal. Great save again by Zeepfat. Fantastic.
The waning minute of this half, Binghamton not content with a 1-0 lead. The clock continues to run. Off the corner, Luke springs to it. McHugh gives her a tap on the back to let her know she's right there defensively. Flavo off of Grenz. The Wildcats will clear and just try to get this game to the locker room. Bit of a shove by Finn.
10, 9, 8.
Yeah, that was just to wind out the clock here in the first half.
3, 2.
Bouncing ball ricochets off of McCasland, and that
it's going to go up over the top a little bit more here in the second.
Binghamton will start with the ball, moving right to left on your screen. He's Pete Webster, I'm Andrew Gardner. Second half action. Here's from Wildcat Stadium in the beautiful Durham, New Hampshire. Davis back into the game after playing 32 minutes in the first half. Baker, and a goal kick for UNH. Luke played the full 45 in half number 1 for Binghamton. Again, Davis got pulled with about 13 minutes left for Martillo, who ends up scoring the goal. Also, a second assist has been credited to Olaya Blanco. That's her second point of the season. Don't see it as much in soccer where, the secondary assist is tacked on. 2 really nice passes that set up that goal for Binghamton.
Yeah, a lot of times those the plays get started a lot of times out around midfield, and it takes a couple of good plays to have it develop. I like the fact they had 2 assists.
Wildcats moving left to right. Something Pete mentioned in that first half was the wind. The Wildcats are going against it. Meyer keeps it low. No bodies in the box to push that towards goal for the Wildcats. Again, Meyer had the game-winning PK and the PK shootout in the 2022 America East Championship game. UNH would then make the NCAA tournament. That was the Wildcats' second all-time America East Championship victory. Their first was in 2014. Binghamton's just got 1. That came all the way back in 2004. They've been back to the championship game 3 times since then. twice under head coach Bhattacharjee in 20 and 22, the other one in 2009. But this is a conference that Stony Brook had some real good years. Maine the last 2 years. Stony Brook now in the CAA, having another really strong season. Obviously, UNH has seemingly been in the mix as well. UVM. Walker takes one off her right shin.
Yeah, there needs to be a little rise in level in America East if they're going to be one of those conferences that can draw a second seed to the NCAAs. We've seen that on the men's side. You've had teams that have earned an extra berth into the NCAAs, not just the tournament champion.
Well, we've seen as many as 3 teams come out of the America East on the men's side. Obviously, UNH, many a good seasons under Mark Hubbard. Bouncing ball in the box is cleared by Binghamton. UVM, who was here last night, defeated the Wildcats 3-0. They're the defending national champions. And then you've got Bryant as well, who is top 5 in the country, as well. So it is a loaded division, or conference, I should say, on the men's side. On the women's side, Binghamton, despite being 10-1-3 as Myers taken down, they're 72nd in RPI, which again, that pulls in the out-of-conference strength of schedule. But I think it definitely shows kind of where the America East is at right now.
Yeah, even with just one loss, and that being to Monmouth, the strength of schedule for the whole conference is going to come into play. And just not there just yet for America East on the women's side. Yeah, it's, not to belabor the point on the men's side, but Brian is going to host Vermont next weekend in a Saturday night game, and you can just imagine how many people around the country are going to tune into that game.
Just the 4th year that Bryant is in the America East. And we've seen them make the NCAA tournament, their men's basketball team. Success on both the men's and women's soccer side.
Yeah, they put a tough football team out on the field as well.
Beat UMass earlier this year.
Yeah. There's a lot of good things about America East. And one thing that I really love about this league is it emphasizes the student-athlete part of it. I understand the NIL implications in paying student-athletes, but this conference, it's all about developing character athletes and having them earn their educations as well as being competitive on their respective fields.
You meet so many people, after graduation who, played a sport in the America East. A long shot taken by Worrell rolls out. And it's that mix of obviously the athletics, but the leadership, the professionalism, the academics on the other side as well.
Yeah, and it's always fun, you look up the players and their bios and see what major they are. During the hockey game yesterday, UNH versus Harvard, one of the Harvard players was a neuroscience major. Neuroscience? Okay, what, are we talking like Amy Farrah Fowler there from The Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
It's just, that kind of level of intellect, it's fascinating.
It is incredible just how they're able to juggle everything as well.
Yeah.
Walker forces the turnover, gets past Garofalo. Walker taken down, and a penalty kick coming for New Hampshire. What a job by Shia Walker to earn the opportunity. And a yellow card is assessed to Garofalo.
Yeah, you just watch this. The way she uses her body to step and get that angle on Garofalo, she just veers to the right a little bit, and that puts her in the path of the defender who's going full speed. Very smart, heady play by Shia Walker.
I think Binghamton might be getting a little bit of PTSD right now. That's Abby Meyer on the ball, who again scored the game-winning goal in the 2022 America East Championship. She's 2 for 3 on PKs this year, has taken all 3 for UNH, and she ties it. What a job by the Wildcats to respond out of the half Binghamton with a large lead in shots had the 1-0 lead, and UNH Abby Meyer, her new career high in goals, number 5.
She gets wrapped up by her teammates over on the sideline, but watch this PK, just perfect. She let Kessler actually make the move and go to her left, and Abby Meyer just slotted it right down the middle.
And that was almost the exact spot she scored back in 2022 as well. Doesn't get, I'm sorry to keep bringing that up, but doesn't try to get too fancy with it. Straight down the gut, and it's effective. And look at Finn right off the restart. The Wildcats just look recharged with energy. We've got ourselves a brand new game on the pitch.
Yeah, there's new life in the team dressed in white and pink socks down their stockings.
UNH goal scored by
All right, we'll see how Binghamton responds to this. Binghamton had 63% of the possession in the first half to UNH's 37.
62% of that possession as well coming in the UNH defensive side of the field. So you can really see in that illustration where the Bearcats were controlling the ball. So again, Shia Walker obviously is not going to be the one credited with the goal or an assist or anything. She's the one who's fouled,
right. Yeah.
But she develops that whole play on her own, gets around a first-team all-conference defender, sticks with it, and that's one of the reasons why Coach Steve Wellham eyed her out of the transfer portal and brought her in from LaSalle.
Yeah, she did a great job of maintaining the possession on that run, using her speed, getting the body angle, drawing the foul inside the box. As we see Jakaya Davis take down Riley Mitzvah. Mitzvah is just so tough. Takes a second, collects herself, springs herself back up.
She's another one of the freshmen on this team who has played a healthy number of minutes after today's game. Most likely going to eclipse the 1,000-minute mark. And she's played 90 minutes in her last 4 games. This ball will go off of Binghamton, and Zeepvat will take the goal kick for New Hampshire. So 1-1 our score. Martillo with the goal in the 36th minute. Meyer in the 52nd. Just 16 minutes of game time separating the two. Obviously felt a lot longer with the halftime break.
You're right, it certainly did. But it's a whole new game here for the Wildcats. Thinking they're all square here. Now you're thinking, okay, you're going to D up just like Binghamton is going to have that strong defense. Make sure no great opportunities go to the opposition. I just think it's a real interesting. Kind of funny that the Wildcats' outside backs are both from Tingsboro, Mass. A few years apart, but good spot down there near somewhere around Salem, New Hampshire.
Pipeline. A few players have come that way for the Wildcats.
Yeah, both those players played Tingsboro High School. That's a good header by Mitza.
How will Binghamton respond? That is the question. Meyer's looking for a lead for UNH. Punched out by Flavo.
You know, looking at their results, I don't think you're going to see any panic. In the 3 games ago when they played the University of Maine out there in Binghamton, Maine scored to equalize the game at 1-1. And then Binghamton got the game winner.
There's the leading scorer in terms of points per game in the America East, Paige Luke.
And in that Maine game, guess who it was that scored the winning goal? Jakaya Davis. She has the explosive talent.
4 of her 7 goals this year have been game winners. Bearcats have won 5 of 6 in the America East so far. Their lone tie coming against NJIT on October 2nd. By the way, that goal by Abby Meyer, the first that Binghamton has given up since the 81st minute on October 5th against Maine. Here in the box, a dangerous chance. Luke and Davis were in the mix for it.
That was at Mitza with the clearing header. All of 5-2.
She got up there.
Key read for Mitza on that.
Blue collar on the defensive end. Ball rolled up and off of the leg of Finn. Was the leading returning scorer from last year with 10 points. This is the 8th corner kick of the game for Binghamton. UNH has only had 2. Nothing too dangerous has come off of these so far from Binghamton. Shia Walker doing a nice job to get her head on that, and Bella Brown came off the bench today, sends it out of play.
Yeah, there's one of your tallest players out there making the key head to clear it out of the box. Good job by Shia Walker, playing both sides, offense, defense. I think head coach Steve Wellham has put Shia Walker as the number 9, the striker up front. She's now playing in advance of Elizabeth Finn.
Again, Brooke Pearson, the sophomore from Plainsville, Connecticut, out today for the Wildcats after a red card in the 74th minute against Bryant earlier this week. Has to serve a 1-game suspension. That was a game in which the Wildcats tied the Bulldogs 0-0. Again, both of these teams, one longer than the other, but both on unbeaten streaks. UNH at 4 games, Binghamton at 11. Bowling Green, the only team in the country with a longer unbeaten streak, which is at 13th, as Megan Baker is taken down and the Wildcats are whistled for a foul.
And we just saw Binghamton overload on the left flank side over here. It left a lot of space for the Wildcats. They did work it around to the middle and over to the left back, but they weren't able to really advance it with possession. Got a couple of nice touches by the outside midfielder, but there was an awful lot of space over there with Binghamton just kind of doing a little seesaw action and putting an extra player or 2 on the left side.
It hops up off of Kolb, dangerous, right on the goal line was Ziepfat and Davis. The header from Kolb didn't have enough on it to get out of play.
Yeah, that's all right. You got confidence in your keeper. She goes up high, keeps that ball up high. Yeah, another textbook goalkeeping maneuver there. You should see it in our box there. She went up high, kept it up high. As the worst thing you could do is the keeper to bring it down and clunk that ball right on the head of the striker.
It's an awesome look from our crew, too, with the live shot and the replay up top.
Yep.
On the far side, Grenz takes it away. Both teams keeping some of their bench players who entered the game in the later stages in the first half and have remained in the game. Grenz now leading the Wildcats in minutes off the bench with 26 this afternoon. Buckwalter gives to Luke. There's Maddie Kolb again. This was the America East Defender of the Year last year. Named to the preseason America East All-Conference team. She's played 90 minutes in the last 5 games.
Number 17, Sydney Krompaski. For number 9, Bella Brown.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, you bring in subs with 5, 10, 15 minutes left in the first half. You keep them to start the second half. And then you get into the second half. You bring your top players back. And you give them a go for the last 30, 35 minutes, and they'll be a little fresher.
Brown comes out after 25 minutes of play. Junior from Orland, Pennsylvania. Bearcats looking to regroup. Meyer forcing up with speed. P. Webster maybe just had the assist of the year, getting a maybe the largest stink bug I've ever seen out of the booth. Man, you got to teach me the technique on that. Scoop with the paper. We don't have a ton of window space up here. That was impressive.
He got in here, and you know, he was doing a demonstration on my window here, and I didn't want to touch it.
Oh, look at this shot. So he comes in. If we had a telestrator, he comes in, flies down right in front of me here, and then comes right back over to Pete. Pete comes all the way up to the window here. Excellent work.
I think it was in the follow-through.
I think it was the wrist action, for sure.
They didn't tell us the camera behind us is on.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Of course, you want that shot. It's such a beautiful day here in Durham.
And the back of our heads, too. I mean, 65 degrees here in Durham. This is what you ask for.
Yeah.
Late October. Hard to believe the women's soccer season is winding down. 1 game left for Binghamton, 2 left for UNH. UNH will be back here at home next Sunday against UMBC, and then we'll finish the season the day before Halloween on Thursday the 30th at Maine.
Yeah, just to get it straight, it's a beautiful day today. It's not going to be like this tomorrow around here in northern New England. It's supposed to be very rainy.
Some more rain coming. Had the nor'easter last week, which didn't really come up here as much.
No.
Boston got the brunt of it. '63rd minute of play. Good takeaway by Beasley. She's been all over the field.
Yeah, she's had to play that role in for Pearson. Greitens earns a free kick for the Wildcats. All right, so the Wildcats, you know, they get the equalizer. There's a lot of emotion for 4 or 5 minutes after that. You score that, and you have to be careful. You can be vulnerable to the counterattack with a team like Binghamton. UNH has settled in and, you know, gone back into you know, playing good 50-50
Walker
soccer.
looking for Meyer. They sure have. I mean, the response by the Wildcats has been more than impressive. Abby Meyer was looking for her second. Again, that PK goal, that's the 3rd that Meyer has scored this year off of a penalty kick. She's 3 for 4 now and has a new career high in goals with 5.
Yeah, it's great to see her get, you know, that high mark here in her senior season.
Goals in 3 of her last 4 games now. 7 points during that span. Here's Davis looking to make something happen for Binghamton. They've been quiet offensively. And those were the types of passes that in the first half were a little bit more crisp between Davis and Luke.
Yeah, just looking for that little give and go. You see that they have the actual magic between the two. You don't have to say a whole lot, but the little go pass by Luke was just a little bit too hot.
Each team has had 1 penalty kick opportunity. 1 in the 30th minute for Megan Baker for Binghamton, where she was unsuccessful. Nailed it right off the crossbar. Binghamton scored 6 minutes later on a net finder by Isabella Martillo. And 16 minutes later after the half, Abby Meyer tied this game up at 1-1 on the PK. 25 minutes left here from Wildcat Stadium. Wildcats with a result between Bryant and NJIT cannot clinch. Maine winning earlier, and the game between Bryant and NJIT not ending in a tie. So that will be delayed until either midway through the week, depending on how other games go, or next weekend against UMBC, which will be another big game for the Wildcats. And again, Binghamton just needs 1 point. They're in a position right now to lock up a top 2 spot in a home game in the America East Championships. Here's a free kick opportunity for Binghamton. Luke is able to make contact with it, and the Wildcats will clear it to avoid the corner.
Yeah, that's a heady hustle play by Riley Mitza to keep that from being a corner kick.
Luke, top of the box to Buckwalter. She's knocked off the ball. Buckwalter, the America East Rookie of the Year last year, was also second team All-America East. Had 5 goals last year for 13 points. Has 9 so far this year.
Fans watching might be able to hear the wind in our crowd mic that's down near the field. It has picked up a little bit here in the second half. A wind going straight down the field, straight at Sonia Zivat.
Buckwalter. No one there for the Bearcats. Cleared for the moment by Gimmel. Comes back to the feet of Binghamton. Buckwalter, a try from the outside, and it gives the crossbar a haircut and rolls out of play.
Yeah, another good bid by the Bearcats, and that was the defender, substitute Mackenzie Brotherson.
There's another look at that shot from Buckwalter.
Yeah, it was Buckwalter. My bad there. There's Brotherson coming in right there to get in the camera frame. Buckwalter from Daniel Boone High School.
I think you know every high school in the country. It's very impressive. It's in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania.
That I've never heard of. You guys were doing the men's game last night, and there were 8 players from Germany out on the field, 6 for Vermont.
That's tailored for you.
It was.
There's a shot from the outside with some heat on it, right into the midsection of Siri, who makes the stop. Sam Allen picked up the primary assist on the Binghamton goal, now gives it a try. McHugh will block it. Look at the second chance defending by McHugh. Whiffed on for the moment. Krempowski. Now Walker goes hard at the ball with Garofalo, and they both tumble to the ground. It will be Binghamton ball on the restart.
Yeah, Walker went in with the outside of her right foot. That puts her off balance. Cats having a little tough time back there on the right side, left side defensively. Maybe the right flank for Binghamton. I like the way Binghamton has used a lot of different points of attack here this afternoon. They haven't just been stuck to one side and, you know, trying to work off the boot of Jakea Davis.
Well, speaking of Jakea Davis, she comes out of the game for Grace McCasland. Davis currently at 55 minutes. We'll see if she re-enters. Usually hovers around 60 to 70 minutes per game. Played 69 in the last contest. Wildcats still with only 3 subs off the bench as this ball bounces all the way to Ziepvat. Grenz has played the most off the bench for the Wildcats with 37 minutes, and then Clark and Vano have only played 9 and 5. 7 Wildcats have played the full 69 minutes.
Yeah, you know, when you go through the first half of the year, the non-league schedule, you're setting up, seeing who can do what at different points of the game, and you get into the league schedule, and you pretty much know who you're going to play as your top 11 as Wildcat gets taken down there. You know, and who are going to be your subs, and kind of how much time that you can put them out there on the field. And of course, as a player, you hope you're in that mix when you go to those last 3, 4, 5 games of the year.
Binghamton with an 18-6 lead in shots. The Wildcats have responded well in this second half. 3 shots on target. Obviously, the 1 goal, which was a penalty kick. Each team with a yellow card. Here's Buckwalter. Krempowski. Excellent job by Meyer. Getting the turnover and then giving it right back. McCasland has it chip off of her foot. There's Ziepfat again.
Yeah, I mean, Meyer with a nice takeaway. She might want another touch on that and try to continue that focus with possession.
Well, we're over 26 and change into the second half. Binghamton does not have a single shot on goal in this second frame yet. They had 7 in the first. And you can hear again on the crowd mic, that's the UNH bench making all that noise. Kind of like the 12th player for this team.
Hey, take anything that you can get as far as maybe boosting a little energy or that extra opportunity.
A lot of contact against Grenz, and another yellow card is issued to Binghamton. Our head official, Munir in Malak today. Alexis Worrell, the one charged. It kind of came in with the head first on Grenz. Yeah, and yeah, Grenz and Steve Wellham were making a case for maybe more. Meyer with her left. It bounced wide. The hustle by Grenz to come up. Ball pinballed. Binghamton will clear.
Yeah, just fire that back into the mixer. That's what the Wildcats did there. You hope for a good bounce, hope for a deflection. You never know. In a game like this that's so close, you'll take anything.
Finn angles it to Grenz on her left. .17:30 left to play. Wildcats the quicker team to every ball, and now a foul against the Bearcats. That's Brotherston.
Yeah, that's been a big difference in the second half. Those 50-50 balls, who wins them, who gets the first touch and the second touch on them. And UNH has had the better of that. They've timed it a little bit better here in this half, and you know, that I think is really kind of shut down the opportunities for the Bearcats.
Elizabeth Finn, after 2 fake outs, will take the free kick. Goes over the head of Shia Walker and out. Wildcats brought in 2 walkers, unrelated, or not related, out of the transfer portal. Obviously Shia Walker, who we've seen, and also Lauren Walker from Central Michigan, who suffered an ACL injury in the preseason, has not played. But that's a piece who you think you're gonna have coming into the year. Lauren Walker, a graduate student who, again, brings a wealth of experience. And yeah, a big missing piece who we haven't gotten to see this year.
Yeah, and of course we don't know. We're not privy to the information. Will she be back next year to finish off? If she hasn't played this year, she'll get that extra year. Maybe she's in one of those 2-year graduate programs. I like that, though. I like as the ball's going to run out over the end line. I like the fact that students can stay around for a graduate year if they were redshirted as a freshman. Now that extra 6th year from COVID, that's gone by the wayside now.
There's been talk about establishing a 5th year for everybody. Is that something that you'd be in favor of, kind of extending it a little bit?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I haven't really thought about that. You know, throughout the different sports, you know, we look at, you know, we do a lot with hockey, both you and I, and you know, some of the freshmen coming into the hockey ranks are 21, 22 years old. They get 5 years to play. You know, and that may make a big difference with what kind of NIL package you're going to get or payment. But, you know, the leagues out here in the East probably don't, you know, use that monetary thing, but when you're playing against a Big Ten program that does have those resources, that could make a difference.
Blanco on the free kick. Stuck
Nice
aside by Siri.
Yeah, nice up there by Siri.
And cleared.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different factors in this day and age. Who would have ever thought the transfer portal would have done this? Players can go year to year and play in four college teams.
I think eventually, I think the idea that I like is you get one transfer, and then if you transfer again, then that's a year maybe you have to sit out.
Because I like that. Yeah.
Again, especially more so in football, you see these guys year after year. You're playing for 4 different programs.
Yeah, we've seen that a little bit in basketball as well. Players trying to find the school where they're going to start and play more minutes.
Garofalo to Meyer. I read an article recently. The Bearcats still with it at the top of the box, and a foul will be charged against Binghamton. I think it was Rick Pitino talking about St. John's, how they don't really even target high school players at this point anymore because some of these top recruits go to mid or lower conference teams more so as development to then feed up to these Power 4 conference schools.
Yeah, and you may be recruiting those types of players for 2 years instead of 4-year development. Yeah, it's a whole different world.
Things have certainly changed. Here on the soccer pitch, though, a little over 13 minutes to go. Bearcats have slowly tilted the field back in their favor, and especially in terms of possession. And here's Davis, who's back in the game, leading goal scorer in the America East.
Yeah, that's a nice step up by Nina Siri again to read that play.
Garofalo, couple Bearcats in the mixer. The shadows of Wildcat Stadium becoming a factor in the midfield. Here's Luke. Gets around Kolb. Some contact between Luke and Meyer. They're both slow to get up. Collision right at the 18.
Yeah, you're right. Binghamton is really bringing the house forward now. They're sensing maybe Wildcats' back line is a little vulnerable right now, maybe a little tired. And there's 6 Bearcat players advancing forward.
That was a correction. That was Gimmel on the collision. It's the center midfielder is limping. There's Molly McHugh, graduate student, who's made her 14th start of the year.
Yeah, injured real early last year, sat out a majority with that knee injury, but she's been a stalwart back there. Just a joy to watch as an outside back, tough as nails. Expect nothing less from those Tingsboro kids, right?
Of course. And I'm sure she's not listed as a captain. Maddie Kolb's the only listed captain for New Hampshire. But again, with this back line, the freshmen of Mitza and Siri and Beasley, who have been tasked with so many minutes, I'm sure, you know, she's kind of that veteran presence as Kessler makes the stop. Wildcats were trying to get that through ball over to Walker.
Yeah, to have a back line with Maddie Kolb and Molly McHugh back there. A lot of experience there. And the other 2, freshmen. It's a good back line.
A lot to look forward to for this UNH team. Kolb a senior and McHugh a graduate student. But again, the pieces are there for continued success the next couple of years. Fatigue certainly a factor at this point in the game. 7 Wildcats have played the full 79 minutes. Here's Shia Walker. She's got some space, tries to go long, and Kessler dives out to make the stop.
Yeah, the referee giving it 2 thumbs up, saying good play all around. I think he played a play on out near midfield. Shia Walker had some space there. She was closed down there. There's a possibility of the foul there. But the play on, here we go.
Looked like she tried to slow down to go one-on-one with the defender. That was Garofalo.
Yeah, she might have wanted to little chop it with the outside of her right foot to bring it over to her right side, but good defensive play by Garofalo.
Meyer on the near side gets a friendly hop and a well-positioned slide tackle by Miller. Bodies are flying. Mitza pinches up from the back line.
Again, a lot of these passes turn it into 50-50 balls, and the Wildcats challenging hard for them.
Ali Victoriano, freshman from New York, one on that slide tackle. There's Mitza ready for the throw-in as we approach the final 9 minutes.
Strength on Davis on that play.
Wildcats with a 4-0 shots on goal lead in half number 2. There's McHugh from the outside, rolls her head back, and it will go out for a goal kick.
Yeah, she had 2 Bearcat defenders barreling down on her. Not a bad option to take the shot there. You never know what'll happen, but pretty sure Kessler was all over that.
Couple substitutions. Grenz will come out for UNH. Clark draws back in, played 9 minutes in the first half. Grenz will most likely finish her day with 49 minutes. Here's Paige Luke, America East Rookie of the Year in 2023. The Bearcats have had the last 2. Deep throw-in coming here for Binghamton.
Yeah, with under 8 to go, if either team scores, you're kind of thinking that may be the game-winning goal. So you got to tighten up the screws on the final third.
Fed looking for Davis. Nice job by Ziepvat to close it off.
Yeah, Davis kind of hovering right behind Ziepvat. Wow, what an excellent goalkeeping there by the UNH netminder.
Ball reaches the back line for the Bearcats. Flavo. Luke is down on the left side, or just off the left side of your screen. She's now back up. Pass intended for Shia Walker is closed off. Gimmel hard in with the contact. Walker also getting involved. And it's called against Gimmel.
Yeah, there's certainly tired legs out there and collisions, and this is where you're wearing your ice bag at the end of the game.
Again, 7 Wildcats have played the full game. This ball gets all the way to Davis. She couldn't take the step, and it's stolen away by Mitza.
Oh, that was highway robbery there by Mitza. Davis didn't really realize she was there, and she came and swiped it. Shut down a golden scoring chance.
Mitza again on Luke. It rolls off the foot of Luke. And now off Meyer of UNH. Urgency. Certainly a thing right now for the Bearcats. Krempowski moves it back. She hesitated, and now the ball finds her foot once again. Makes a good move to the outside, gets it over to Baker. Baker towards the middle of the box, bouncing ball, cleared for the moment by Kolb. Like an armband fell on the field off of Martillo. There's a shin pad.
Yeah, shin pad.
That came out from under her sock.
She says, hey, you don't need to have a shin pad if you're going to have a header scoring your goal for your team. That was going back to the first half. What an excellent goal A smart play.
36th minute for Isabella Martillo. This is the penultimate game of the regular season for UNH here at Wildcat Stadium. 3-0-3 this year. Unbeaten at home so far. Bearcats also unbeaten at home, 6-0 back in upstate New York. Luke, through ball, Davis, give and go, back to Davis. Davis, top of the box, good positioning by Zietvat.
Yeah, she had it right on her left peg and drilled it right at the UNH keeper. I believe Davis would like to have that back and try to hit one of the corners.
She's had a few opportunities from that area. Davis with 4 shots on goal now. Does not have a net finder, and that is also the first shot on goal of the second half for Binghamton. Who would have thought it would take all the way till the 86th minute?
Yeah, it's just how the Wildcats have upped the ante defensively. I think it all goes back to how they've been challenging and winning 50-50 balls.
Even with a tie, Binghamton locks up a top 2 spot for the postseason tournament. Wildcats not locked into a spot yet. They still have 2 more games to clinch. Baker. Excellent job by Martillo to try to spin off that ball. It will go out and the clock will stop with 3:26 as UNH makes a substitution. And Grenz will come back in.
Yeah, not much time left, but Coach Wellham obviously making a statement, wants his best players out there to wrap this game up.
Natalie Zabinskis, who started only 32 minutes today. It's the fewest of any starter for UNH. Do either of these teams have one last run in them? Legs certainly tired at this stage in the contest. Meyer and Victoriano fight for it, and Victoriano gains possession. Nice back check by Meyer. Kolb matched up against Davis, and Davis will draw the foul.
Yeah, but that was a smart play by Maddie Kolb as she watched the ball go between the legs of Abby Beasley, and there was a little opening there, but she scurried over there to get a toe on the ball. Also let Davis know that she was right there on her hip.
Free kick about 50 yards out. Garofalo's try is knocked away by Grenz. Meyer and Victoriano jump for it. And now Buckwalter with her left from long range. It goes just over the net and out for a goal kick.
Now Buckwalter has showed that she likes to shoot the ball. Works it onto her left foot.
"90 seconds left to go. Throw in for the Wildcats. Binghamton pressing for one more goal. Garofalo.
1 minute remaining in the second half.
Final minute of play. The Wildcats tied things in the 52nd minute on a penalty kick by Abby Meyer, but the opportunity was earned by Shia Walker. 36-minute goal for Isabella Martillo, and just one shot on goal in this second half for Binghamton.
Yeah, Maddie Kolb, central defense, definitely keeping an eye on Jakea Davis.
Long ball. It gets up to Walker. She's got no help around her. Luke. One last try for Binghamton. It bounces. Davis is hauled down. No call. The Binghamton bench desperately yelling for the penalty kick. Davis was hauled down, and the game will end.